Have you ever wondered what side of your ship is better to attack or defend on? Well, I have, and I did some research and found some very interesting things I want to share with you. Hi, my name is HitboTC, and welcome back to another Sea of Thieves guide video. If you like this video and want to help me defeat the evil overlord that is the YouTube algorithm, make sure to hit that like button, comment down below, and smash that subscribe button. I also stream live content over on Twitch every week, and you can find my schedule in the description below. Would love to have you stop by and say hello. Now, let's talk ship strategies. For a long time now, I have wondered what side of the ship is better to attack on or defend from. Another way of saying that would be what side of the ship is better to take damage on. I also wanted to know this information for each ship type, the sloop, brig, and galleon. That is what we're going to talk about in this video. First, let's talk about the sloop. Now, the sloop is one of the most versatile ships in the game. It also is one of my favorites. You have below deck and mid deck, and it's important to note that even though you're taking damage on a sloop, your mid deck holes are not as priority as your below deck holes. Now, to the question of what side of the sloop is better for you to take an enemy on from or to attack them from, well, it looks like from my research, the answer is going to be your left side. You have less holes on your left side, and it appears that you have a spot on your sloop that essentially cannot take any damage whatsoever, and that is right behind the brig here. When a cannon shot is fired here, it will not allow you to take damage in this spot. What instead will happen is the damage will move to the left or to the right of the spot where the cannons are hitting. In other words, on a sloop, when thinking of your lower deck, you have less holes on the left side of your ship and more holes on the right side of your ship. This means if you're going into a fight with another ship and you are on a sloop, starting the fight from your port side or your left side is going to help give you a slight edge. Next up, we have the brig. Now, after a bit of testing and research, it looks like there's a total of 8 holes on the port side, the left side, and 8 holes on the starboard side or the right side. There's also 2 holes that can happen on the rear of the ship. With it all being even, my thought goes to what side would be better then? If the count is even, what side is better to attack with? Well, it is my opinion that the best side to attack an enemy on in a brig is actually going to be the right side or the starboard side of your ship, and here's why I say that. When you look at all of the holes that can happen on a brig, there are a few holes that are harder to get to behind the voyage table, which means it takes a little bit longer for you to run over there and repair. Then another thing to kind of consider is when you look at the brig on the bottom deck on the right side or the starboard side, near the middle of your ship, you have the stove and water barrels. These prevent holes from forming behind them. So what it looks like Rare did so that they make it even was they added 3 holes on the starboard side right next to each other to try to balance out the brig damage. So though the amount of holes are even, it is very easy to quickly repair these 3 holes in a battle, especially in the middle of one, making it a little bit better to attack on the right side of your ship. You also have this big area with a shelf that can't take any damage whatsoever, giving you a pretty large surface on your brig's starboard side to take less damage. Last but not least, let's talk about the galleon. It's a juggernaut, and although it can have the most holes at 31, the ones that really matter in a fight are the ones that are below deck or at the very bottom of your ship. For my test, it looks like there's a total of 16 holes that can happen below deck on a galleon, and honestly, they are all really well spaced apart. So in terms of the bottom deck, there's really no better side to attack from, which I was kind of disappointed to find out. But again, from my research, I think that's just what it's going to be. This leads me to the mid deck of the galleon, and here's where things change a little bit. With the addition of the stove and the water barrel, which seems to be a common theme, there's a huge spot on the middle deck of a galleon that cannot take any damage on the port side. Just like the other ship types, if a cannonball hits here, the damage will appear on the left or the right of the stove, meaning if you're going into a battle on a galleon, it is going to always be better for you to take that damage on the left side of your ship. Now, I know all of this is a lot of information, so let me do just a quick, simple recap. For a sloop, always attack on the port side or your left side first. For a brig, always attack with your starboard side or the right side. And for a galleon, always attack with your port side or the left side. This may seem like a small detail, but taking one less hole on your ship at any given time could mean the difference between sinking or surviving a fight. So though the difference is just a slight difference, it is worth keeping in mind. On the flip side, with this bit of knowledge, going into a fight, you can also attack ships on their weak side first, giving you a better advantage at winning a battle, meaning your enemy is going to have more holes that they're going to repair, giving you that advantage. What do you think? Will this make a difference for you? Well, let me know in the comments below. I always love to read what you guys say. And if you enjoyed this more in-depth breakdown, I would also be curious what other things you would like me to dive in and research. Thanks again for watching. And like I said, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps when you guys do that.